Freedom of Love by Breton. My wife with the hair of a wood fire, with the thoughts of heat lightning, with the waist of an hourglass, with the waist of an otter in the teeth of a tiger. My wife with the lips of a cockade and of a bunch of stars of the last magnitude, with the teeth of tracks of white mice on the white earth, with the tongue of rubbed amber and glass. My wife with the tongue of a stabbed host, with the tongue of a doll that opens and closes its eyes, with the tongue of an unbelievable stone. My wife with the eyelashes of strokes of a child's writing, with brows of the edge of a swallow's nest. My wife with the brow of slates of a hothouse roof, and of steam on the panes. My wife with shoulders of champagne, and of a fountain with dolphin heads beneath the ice. My wife with wrists of matches. My wife with fingers of luck and ace of hearts, with fingers of mown hay. My wife with armpits of marten and beechnut, and of midsummer night, of privet and of angel fish nest, with arms of sea foam and of river locks, and of a mingling of the wheat and the mill. My wife with legs of flares, with the movements of clockwork and despair. My wife with calves of elder tree pith. My wife with feet of initials, with feet of rings of keys and Java sparrows drinking. My wife with a neck of unpearled barley. My wife with a throat of the valley of gold, of a tryst in the very bed of the torrent, with breasts of night. My wife with breasts of a marine molehill. My wife with breasts of the ruby's crucible, with breasts of the rose's spectre beneath the dew. My wife with the belly of an unfolding of the fan of days, with the belly of a gigantic claw. My wife with the back of a bird fleeing vertically, with the back of quicksilver, with the back of light, with the nape of rolled stone and wet chalk, and of the drop of a glass where one has just been drinking. My wife with hips of a skiff, with hips of a chandelier and of arrow feathers, and of shafts of white peacock plumes, of an insensible pendulum. My wife with buttocks of sandstone and asbestos. My wife with buttocks of swan's backs. My wife with buttocks of spring, with the sex of an iris. My wife with the sex of a mining placer and of a platypus. My wife with the sex of seaweed and ancient sweetmeat. My wife with the sex of mirror. My wife with eyes full of tears, with eyes of purple panoply and of a magnetic needle. My wife with savannah eyes. My wife with eyes of water to be drunk in prison. My wife with eyes of wood always under the axe. My wife with eyes of water level of air, earth, and fire.